Saffron, take one.
I'm Saffron Rosa Misa, and I've grown up in Cape Town. So growing up, my brother used to say that my dad, or our dad, looked after the mountain and my mum looked after the sun. And they quite fiercely did that in their work, and that was very inspiring to me. And now I feel like I'm a child of both of those things, grounded by nature, but always moving towards adventure and light and different textures of life, but all trying to figure out how I can be here in a sustainable way and in a way that brings people together in a participatory sort of world. And now I'm studying landscape architecture. I had done architecture. I thought I was going to become an artist, but actually the context of where a building is and the neighborhood scale and who gets to come in and is, I think, even as important as where people get to reside and inhabit. So that feeling of bringing nature, that connects us. So I like to spend a lot of time, prolonged periods of time in nature, and also on my own, and planning a big hike at the moment. And I've started doing contact improvisation dance, which really, for me, it feels like my life. I had this before contact world and now after contact world, and sort of a break in my capacity and what I get to experience. It's this dance I was organized in the 70s as an anti-fascist movement of being in full contact with other people. You can be with two people or you can solo, or you can be with up to 17 people. And the only definition is that you're moving with your weight and gravity. And it was incredibly confronting for me. I thought it wouldn't be possible for me to continue doing it. I tried it out, but I knew that difficulty, that obstacle, was where I would find a lot of medicine and a lot of new texture and tones for my life. So it's given me a lot more questions to ask and helped with questioning everything. And I think we're in a world where we need to be asking the right questions and doing that together also. Yeah.
So is it contact while...
It's totally improvised. So we role play a lot. Like this last week, we were pretend the one person is heavy, thick clay, but a little bit malleable, and your partner slowly transforms you. But then you'll get to a point where you have to fall over. And then what happens when you fall over? Then you become, your clay flattens on the ground. And how does a partner bring you up from the ground? And then we work with puppetry also. But the whole time, it's many different types of role plays. And then you also go into free jams, and you can be bolomakissying over someone. And I've carried really heavy people, and I can carry very light people too. Because I'd always loved dance, but I don't like the remembering and the steps, and it's also often in silence, and I really appreciate silence. I did something that sort of changed my understanding of the nature of life early at the beginning of this year, called Vipassana, where you spend 10 days in silence between 8 to 11 hours in meditation. And there you experience that everything has changed. Like that is just, you can see new things coming in because there you've got space to watch the new experiences arising, and then you see the change leaving also. And so holding on is where a lot of difficulty comes in. And if you can, so now it's this path of understanding, how do I keep practicing a little bit more of equanimity, and it's going to be a lifelong path, but it's given me a whole lot more, a much bigger community and people it's interesting living in South Africa. We're not a community that meditates, but we do reflect a lot and we do spend time talking, but also being with others and not needing to talk. There's an interesting, really amazing feeling that comes up there where you don't have to show yourself through your voice. You show yourself just through your presence, and then you get to show up differently however you need every time, because we're not the same. That's the change. We're never the same, two people. Yeah, and I didn't know I would be able to do the silent retreat, but coming out of it, I felt like I was, even there was a moment when I was in the meditation that I thought I was levitating. I was like, well, maybe actually your reality really is from what you're experiencing, and you can tap into these different experiences quite through this vessel. And so we're so lucky to have a vessel to experience. But that feeling of speaking to people afterwards was just absolute euphoria. I felt like I actually was hovering, continuing to hover, and it was just amazing that.
I was going to ask how was it coming back to
society?
I want to say, like
yeah.
normal life when you haven't been distracted or speaking for how many days did you say?
So 10 days, because it's such an opportunity to get to live like a monk or a nun. And we don't get to do that because we're householders most of the time. We have to plan and organize and maintain relationships and make money. But that can also be done with a bit of separation, like a distance that you're not so attached to the outcome. So like the most recent experience of actually having this new skill in my quiver was through my dad was very sick recently, and I've been preparing for it and knowing that it's going to happen or something will happen. But actually just me being able to be there with him and less of a worry about me, and just that there's been so much that I have had with him, and the holding on to holding on to the idea that he needs to stay, or someone needs to stay in your life. It's just that you have to release them, and I think also in life we are constantly saying, go, leave, and people come back, and they come back, and that's just the nature of it. So having a wide range of just this openness, and it's hard, but the main thing is to continue coming back to the practice also, and surrounding yourself with people who've done the practice. So actually when I left, I came home, and my mom then went and did Vipassana, because she was like, gosh, this just sounds like an incredible hack for life. And then now we have we sit and we meditate with other friends, and but it's also so you're in silence, but then you reflect together. And I think those moments when you get to talk with other people and see really how they are managing everything, and finding joy and expressing love, but through those conversations together, you get to see a lot of the human experience, and that we are so similar. And I think in South Africa we really have such great diversity, and I feel like my culture also it changes sort of moment to moment, and I get to draw on this wealth of like beautiful this culture that moves a lot and makes amazing music, and I like to wear a lot of African clothing, and I mainly only listen to African music actually because it really lights me up, and I want to groove with that, and this thing of my parents being actually that both of them felt like important parts of people bringing in the new South Africa and being transformative in that. And my dad was a trained soldier in the MK in Mkhonto we Sizwe, and that's given me that sort of legacy of sacrificing part of your life to bring together something that has been terribly separated. And now I'm seeing that with the design work that we do. Basically, those questions of how Cape Town has fundamentally changed, and and how we have green spaces aren't around for everyone. And now, being someone who wants to grow and create natural areas, there's a huge need for greening different parts of Cape Town, and there's really nice projects that I'm involved in, and we'll be painting a mural on Itemba Walkway next week, and it's been really interesting.